So for this particular segment, we're going to do a few stories from the road. And I'm joined today by Andre from Team 13, Milkvan Journey, to talk through the 13 breakdowns that were experienced by Team 13. Andre.
Hi Paul. It was a good trip. Not totally unexpected to have so many breakdowns, but unfortunately all of them weren't proper breakdowns. They were just slight delays in some instances.
Minor inconveniences.
Yeah, let's call it that. So starting off, the first one was a seized motor prior to the rally, which was also a blessing in disguise because we had the motor totally rebuilt before the rally, so that at least lasted us for the duration. Interestingly enough, we did about 11,500 kilometers, and we had to service the vehicle three times on the road.
Does there and back again?
Correct.
Yeah.
The actual trip there was about 5,800 k's. So in that period of time, we had dirty filters, clutch cable that went wonky 3 times. We had coil that backed up, a brand new one. What else did we have? The very last breakdown we had was on the way back. The A-frame basically decided to call it quits. The Milkvan decided to follow its own route back home, and that was a kind of a rather major breakdown. We almost left the combi on the side of the road, but 2 hours later, with the help of some locals, we were driving it again to the next town to get the A-frame sorted. And but other than that, the 13 breakdowns weren't all that bad.
No,
it's part and parcel. The one interesting one was the accelerator cable, not the cable itself because we had plenty of spares for that, but the linkages under the pedal seized due to age and metal fatigue, and we concocted up a unique rope fly-by-wire scenario.
I've heard of this technique before.
And unfortunately we had a piece of rather thick pipe that we could run through the floor of the under the pedal, pull the rope through the pipe, and with the help of your knee pull it up because you didn't have enough strength in your hand to physically do a 90-degree turn, and we drove like that 4,000 kilometers.
Nice,
and until such time as we could get to some spares and stuff that we didn't have on board. But it's part of parcel. If you don't have a breakdown, you didn't have the Africa Rally.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. And it certainly sounds like an interesting fix.
It definitely was. I think one of the more unique ones that we've had to attempt.
And obviously it was you and Dave who were driving. Any arguments, anything en route, or all smiles?
All smiles and cheers. Absolutely no arguments. Absolutely no quarrels or anything at all, other than the last day, the second last day. That was with the policeman, not with one another.
I see. Yeah, I have heard you've been caught speeding. Is that correct in this thing a few times?
A number of times. hence the Life of Crime award.
Yeah, indeed.
Four speeding fines on one day.
In a 71 combi as well. It's possibly one of the slowest but most brilliant vehicles we've ever seen.
Yes. So, and those are just some of the fines we received.
So one question we of course have to ask is what motor's actually in the back of the ice cream van? Is it all original?
It's an electric vehicle, Paul. It says clearly EV charging point. No, just joking. Original 1600 twin port motor, same as what was used in the Beatles those years, and with a 4-speed gearbox on it. Absolutely no modifications whatsoever. It's safe to say that you met a lot of amazing people on the route.
And because, of course, we were following you on social media and also via the Africa Rally account at Africa Rally, some of them were even actually proactively looking out for the Milkvan and were expecting your arrival. Is that true?
Indeed, totally unbeknownst to us. We were in Tanzania, absolutely in the middle of nowhere, with one of the multitude of roadblocks, and but most of the roadblocks, the police were more inquisitive about what we're doing and why we're doing it than actually worrying about paperwork and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And as they were ready to let us go, I saw a beetle in the distance. Decided to go find out about what the beetle was all about.
Of course, fellow VW owner.
Of course. So Rasta pulled out his phone and he said, "We've been following you since Pretoria." I said, "What are you on about?"
Yeah.
And on the phone, Facebook groups, etc., etc. Even our Instagram account, they were following us literally from the time we left at the start of the rally, and were so honoured to just meet us and put hands on the combi and take pictures with themselves and the combi. The Milkvan has become infamous, and a similar sort of thing happened in Arusha itself. We were driving at night, contrary to what we were planning on doing, but we had no choice. Getting lost in the middle of the village, and couldn't find the accommodation that we were planning to sleep at. Eventually decided to head back into the town area, and this friendly gentleman stopped and said, "Can you please just take a photograph?" And of course we said, by all means, that's what makes part of the fun of this journey.
Of course.
Interacting with the people and the locals and telling them the story. And we said, "Look, we're looking for this particular accommodation." And he said, "You don't want to go there, it's not safe. But by the way, I own a lodge, why don't you just come with us?"
Very convenient, yeah.
So we promptly followed Chris, and what a beautiful place he had, what a friendly man, all excited about the fact that he was able to meet us and also put hands on the combi. And the Milkvan has just proven to be such a nice conversation piece all over. And I must say, we only encountered friendly people all along the way. Except for the odd policeman, but from all the locals, they were all very keen to help, to talk, to just stand by and watch.
And that's the beautiful thing about doing this rally in a vehicle such as the ice cream van.
Yes.
Because it immediately breaks the ice. You know, it puts people.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah. Oh God, that was terrible. Unintentional. But yeah, it breaks the ice. It puts people at ease. It makes them want to come up and chat to you, and it's that sort of positive feeling that I think is one of the things that makes the Africa Rally special.
Without a doubt, Paul, the difference between the teams that went in the classic vehicles and with a lot of sign writing and that type of thing, as opposed to the people that went with fancy 4x4s and the like, they had an African journey. We had an African adventure,
and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. We interacted with so many people, we've lost count. People have sent us messages on our Facebook and Instagram accounts, detailing about when they saw us and how they saw us, and we didn't even know about them, and that's because there were just so many people. And a special thank you to all of those people, because they made the rally for us. You know, driving is one thing, but it's all the experiences along the way that make it such an awesome event.
Absolutely.
Doing it in a fancy 4x4, to me, this particular event is not an option. Of course you can do it. It's just the lazy man's way of doing it.
Very true. And it's not as much fun. You know, you're never going to have those sort of random encounters and meet those sort of friends, and unless you're doing it in a classic vehicle.
Absolutely. And especially with the keen interest in especially Arusha, but the whole of Tanzania, in terms of older cars.
Absolutely love their classics there.
Absolutely
Love them, and that's pretty much the only reason how I managed to get the Mini back to Dar es Salaam. I couldn't have done it without the help of fellow enthusiasts and classic car owners.
By and large, all the countries that we visited were full of friendly people, helpful people, or just inquisitive. Either way, absolutely no animosity whatsoever at any point in time, other than the odd policeman.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I suppose by winning the Africa Rally 2023 in this beautiful 1971 VW Combi ice cream van, you've kind of set the bar. And as registration is now open for the Africa Rally 2024, the real question is, what vehicle will you be bringing along, and will it be mad enough to compete with this fantastic milk van behind me? Hang on, Andre, there is one question that I did forget to ask, because I've heard rumours of what you and Dave got up to in the Serengeti. Is it true that you used to stop off and offer the Toyota Land Cruiser guys a tow?
Absolutely, that was the best fun of the whole day. Watch the expressions on their faces when they realize we're offering them a tow instead of they offering us a tow.
Oh, fantastic. And the combi obviously did well getting through the Serengeti.
The reliability was there. We lost a shock absorber somewhere. We presume it was in the Serengeti. But other than that, absolutely no reliability issues whatsoever.
And you must have seen some beautiful wildlife while going through.
I saw Dave. We saw thousands upon thousands of blue wildebeest. Obviously we saw a host of other things, but that was obviously the main event with the migration. And of course we saw the crossing. Front row seat, absolutely 2 meters in front of our windscreen. The blue wildebeest started crossing, and what an absolute adventure. And what more to do it in a classic vehicle as part of the Africa Rally, and seeing one of nature's true wonders. An amazing experience.
Drive safe.